Let's go live with Fabio Samoa, his first
Hey,
YouTube live stream. We'll do it
hey
live.
Hey,
guys.
Yeah, you know the thing. And there's this. We're launching in less. I think it's like 26 days now. I'm starting to lose count, man. It's coming up quick. February 3rd on Fund My Comic. Can't wait to get this in people's hands. 48-page magazine. How are you, Fabio? You're all the way over in Brazil. I kind of thought so because you had Portuguese on your Twitter, and I've had some actual artwork that has a lot of comic book production artwork from Brazil. I used to buy a lot of that stuff from a guy out in Brazil till he moved to America, and a lot of it was in Portuguese. So I thought if it's Portuguese, you're probably in Brazil.
Yeah, exactly.
So
Hi
so
guys. Hi everyone.
it's late. It's late there for you, right? What time is it there?
Yeah, right now is like 7 p.m. for me.
Oh, that's not
So
too bad. Okay, that's not too
oh
bad.
yeah,
yeah,
that's
All
only.
right. You're
it's
not too
already
far in the
night.
future.
Yeah, but it is still coming a lot of light because here we are in straight in the summer. So
Uh-huh.
here it is hot as hell.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I know for you guys, it probably is snowing out there, and I
Yeah,
invite you
dude.
guys because
I'm
I'm
in the
not.
Well,
snow right now, so
Yeah,
yeah, he's up around Chicago, a little bit colder. Here, it's not been too bad. Lowest it's gotten is maybe in the 40s.
that's
It's not
great,
bad.
man. Yeah, here.
Caroline,
let me.
she's in the UK. Dr. Mask in the house. Hello.
Hail, Doctor Mask.
Yeah. Well, yeah, what is
Yeah,
Ice to Earth? Dr. Mask, and I was going to ask you
uh,
about your shirt. Is that a
yeah, man.
musical
Uh,
group?
yeah, Ice Derv.
Okay.
Oh, Ice
Um,
Earth. Yeah, dude, those guys
yeah,
rock.
yeah,
Okay.
is a heavy metal band. One
Yeah.
of most traditional band. They are from United States, and
Oh, okay.
this album,
Hmm.
it's called The Dark Saga, and it's based on Spawn. You know,
Oh,
Yeah,
wow.
so
Okay.
they did another
yeah,
album that was based on Wolverine. I'm sure Fabio knows what I'm talking about. Have you seen that
Oh,
one?
really?
It's a,
Wolverine. I'm not
Wolverine
sure.
yeah,
for the
it's
X-Men.
an
Yeah.
old school Ice Earth album, and they had Wolverine on the cover.
Wow. I
Cool.
did not know this.
Yeah.
I
This is
only
cool.
know
I'm going to have to
Dark
look them up.
Saga.
Oh, okay.
Is that,
Yeah,
is
look
that
up some
like,
of their older stuff from like the '90s, late '90s, somewhere in there.
are they
Cool.
like heavy metal? How would you
Yeah,
describe them?
yeah, they're definitely metal.
Okay. All
Metal.
right.
Yes.
Well, we'll rock on here in Fabio's first YouTube appearance. So,
Yeah.
thanks for coming
Woohoo.
on, man. We've looked at some of your stuff over on Twitter the other day. It rocks. You know,
Oh, thanks a lot,
it's
man.
it's looking
Thanks
good.
Hello,
for
darling.
So tell us
yeah,
a little bit about yourself and how you kind of got
uh,
into the comic scene.
yeah. Thanks for having me. Thanks for the invite for me. It's a great joy to be here. Well, I can talk a little bit about how it all started.
Okay.
And since I was a kid, I always loved drawing, but I have not too much access to comics.
Right.
It was very hard to find comics here back in the day in the 90s. Not so much. It was slowly getting better to get comics here in Brazil, but I live in a very small town, so it was kind of hard to get in
Yes.
contact with comics.
Yeah.
But I grow enjoying the cartoons, and
Hmm.
whenever I get the chance, I got to know X-Men and the 90s and that
Hmm.
era of comics. It got me, and I became a fan. And then it's a little hard to explain, but here in Brazil, it's kind of hard to work with art. You know,
Yeah.
art.
Hmm.
If you talk to your parents that your dream was is to be an artist, probably they would say to you, you wanna die
Yeah. Get
poor,
a get a real job that pays.
because back, back in the day, no one believes in art as a job, as a real job.
Hmm.
Today, thanks the Lord, today is a lot better. But back in the day, that was the reality, and I grow with this in my mind. So after the high school, and after my studies and everything, I work in several jobs.
Oh,
Yeah, his internet may freeze up every now and then. We'll just have to work around that.
welcome
Um,
to Brazil. Your experience may vary.
Yeah. All right, we're back. So
You're back.
I work in several jobs and
mhm.
industry, construction, stores, and everything. But in my last normal job, it was a advertising agency. So I
Oh,
had some kind of free time. I knew how to work with graphic softwares like CorelDRAW and Photoshop and everything. I was already starting to get my first commissions as a freelancer and still
Mhm.
working in that job. But then um, my first step into this market was back in 2017 when I started selling pinups on eBay by
Okay.
working in partnership with a small studio here in Brazil.
Like
They
packing peanuts
no
or or
pinups art,
oh,
original
art.
art.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, like pinups. Yeah, they sell art on eBay. Then I start selling
Yeah.
in partnership with that studio, and then I realized that the market for comics, for American comics, is in America. you know?
Yes, sir.
So,
Yes. Mhm.
so I have this insight in my mind, and I started doing art and posting on social media, but just in English. You know,
Right.
every
Yep.
every post I do was in English.
Yep.
With that, I started making friends in United States and England.
Nope. Froze up a little bit there. He'll be back in
good
a second.
marketing, man.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. If
Yeah.
you can be
My own
bilingual.
market, and then back in 2018, I
Mhm.
got my first invite to do a comic book. It was Vexus from my good friend Dakota Goodell, and he's the creator of Chameleon Studios Comics.
Okay.
And I
Okay.
got to meet him, and he invited me to be the penciler for the series, and I started Vexus issue 1 in
Oh, there's a purple one.
2018,
Oh,
and in 2019 I quit my job and stayed full time as a freelance comic book artist.
Wow,
So
that's great.
yeah,
That's
it
that.
was like a dream come true for me, because it was my dream when I was since when I was a kid, and from the end of 2019 and ahead, I can say I'm living my dream every single day. So I'm super grateful for that, and that's awesome.
Yeah,
yeah, it is.
yeah.
It's great, man.
Uh,
Thanks.
yeah. I mean, if you can actually make a living, what does your parents think now
Yeah,
about you making a living?
from the day I quit my job, and I showed to them the screen on my PayPal. So
Uh huh. Yeah.
now they are very proud of me, and they understand, and, and now
That's awesome, bro.
they
So
got
it
to
was like
accept this.
it was eBay that really Brazilian, I guess Brazilian eBay that kind of made a difference, for you, right? Selling, being able to have an avenue to sell your artwork on eBay.
Yeah, it was the first step, because I started selling original comic art, you know,
Uh huh.
because before that I was always drawing, always doing my own illustrations, my fan
Hmm.
arts and everything, posting on social media, but I was not going toward the market, and
Right.
with this opportunity on eBay, I started. I got more eyes on me, and eyes from collectors and from comic book creators and everything.
Hmm.
So I can say this was my initial step on the market, and I'm very grateful for that.
I notice you draw a lot of sexy women. Is that just the
Yeah,
projects that you've gotten, or is that what you kind of prefer to do, or what?
yeah. I think it's connected, because with the kind of art I started getting know,
Uh huh.
because on eBay I was selling this kind of art. We call it pin-up art. Is beautiful girls with beautiful body and everything. As you know, you draw a Wonder Woman with a
Nothing
beautiful
wrong with that.
face, and it sells. So
Right. Right.
I back in the day I started getting know by this, and then basically is the kind of art that a lot of indie creators want on their covers. They want
Right.
on their pages. They want beautiful characters depicted in the art. And actually, my first work with Vexus issue 1, the creator reached out to me because he saw one of these pinups I did, and he said, "Hey man, your art resembles Michael Turner." You
Yeah.
Oh
know,
wow, nice.
so Michael Turner and Witchblade and all that era from the 90s, it was a big influence on me, and he saw and he thought it resembles Michael Turner, and he reached out to me and asked if I would like to do comics, and not just covers or pinups,
Hmm.
but real sequential pages of story.
Right.
And I said
Nice.
yes, and it was very hard for me because
Mhm.
in the beginning I was only drawing pinups, So when you jump to from drawing pinups to drawing a comic book page, you'll see it's a totally different world, you know,
Yeah,
Oh,
it's
absolutely.
it's a whole
Yeah.
different animal, right?
all different. And so my first pages, if I look at them today, I think I have Vexus issue 1 here. Okay, here it is.
I definitely, we were looking at your artwork the other day, and I was mentioning that it looked a little like Michael Turner to me. So yes, I can see the Michael Turner, especially in the faces sometimes.
Yeah, thanks
You
a
know,
lot, man. Yeah, for sure, it's a
that's
great.
how I tell different art styles, different comic book artists is
Yeah,
primarily their face, like a hero or villain that's got a face that's covered up like Spider-Man. It's kind of hard to tell who drew it sometimes.
yeah.
But if I can see
So
the face and how different artists draw faces, I can generally tell you who it is.
yeah,
That's some
the
great
face
stuff.
is
Yeah.
yeah. So this is one of my very first pages in my life back in
Hmm.
2018. It was
Okay.
terrible.
Yeah.
It was
It's
terrible.
terrible. Yeah.
But this issue, it I started in 2018, but
Hmm.
for several problems with the studio, and we start and stop several times, and it
Right.
only got to be released in 2022. So
Okay.
my art changed along the issue. You know, if you see the first pages, for me they look terrible, honestly.
Right.
And one of the last pages, you know, you can see the difference. You know,
Oh wow, yeah.
it,
Yeah.
it
I
looks,
mean, you level up over time, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
because this was my first, and then Vexus stopped, and
Uh huh.
then I worked for Wingless Comics. I did a series of 5 issues called Nightfall,
Okay.
and that was my school of comics, you know. Because
Okay.
um, I thanks a lot to Brian J. Lambert. He's the creator and writer for English comics. And then I did Nightfall, I did Justice, and several issues for other creators. The first pages and the last, and yeah, every single issue I'm doing, be it for any studio, I am always improving because I still tell I am beginner because I am only 4 years straight on this market.
Hmm.
But you
No,
know what is 4 years comparing to artists that are doing that for 20 years, you know.
Right. Right.
So
right.
I am rookie, you know.
Right.
Hey, you're doing pretty well for a rookie, man.
Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah. So you worked for a variety of on a variety of comics. Have they been primarily out of America?
Mm, no, basically all my work that I did in comics is
Hmm.
only in America.
Oh, okay. All right. All
only
right.
only for Kickstarters, for Indiegogo, for uh, actually
Hey,
some
Timothy.
of my covers are being published by Antarctic Press,
Oh,
because
cool.
I did one behind here is for Mary Machine Gun, from Atrocity Press.
Right.
Yeah.
And this cover was selected to be the official cover for Mary Machine Gun issue 1,
Oh
being
yeah. Okay.
published by
Take
Antarctic
care.
Press. So I think it's one of my best achievements so far.
Yeah, no, that's
Oh
great,
yeah.
Fabio.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm very
I
happy
mean,
for that.
Antarctic Press has been out there for in some you know way for like 30 years or so. I
Yeah.
guess.
Hmm.
Yeah. So
And Mary
Yeah.
over
Machine Gun
30 years.
Atrocity is putting out some cool stuff, man. I'm liking those guys.
Yeah,
So
we were
Yeah.
looking at some of your stuff, from your Twitter yesterday, and mentioning that you were at
hello, Carrie.
Atrocity, and then I noticed
Yeah.
like you have some Dave Brink here up
Dave
there.
Brink.
Oh
Kind
yeah,
of
perfect.
following
Yeah.
Yeah.
some people. Dragon
Yeah.
Rage. Jimmy Reyes.
Jimmy.
That's one of your pieces, though, right? Fan art piece.
Yeah, I actually,
He froze up just for a second, but yeah, Jimmy Reyes is doing
Hey, Timothy.
a variant cover for me here pretty soon for the magazine.
Might have been.
Might have been boobies.
Oh, I was looking at chat. Sorry.
Yeah. Well, I was just wondering who you were talking to there. Thank you,
Timothy was
Lorenzo.
talking about an Ice Dirt song.
Oh, okay.
Said
Yeah.
he thought he heard it on a cartoon,
oh,
Aqua Teen Hunger Force.
okay,
I'm not.
Okay.
I don't
I,
know if I remember for sure, but I think so.
You're back, Fabio.
I'm
You're
back.
back.
Oh,
Yeah.
Hey,
You're
there he is.
back. So that
yeah,
was a Dragon Rage fan piece, right? Jimmy Reyes, currently over on
yeah,
Indiegogo. He's going to do a variant cover for me for this
very awesome. Yeah,
magazine,
Jimmy is
and I'm
awesome.
excited to get to work with
Yeah,
Jimmy finally.
he's a good dude, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I follow his channel on YouTube as well, and
Hmm.
is an inspiration for me in some kind. And I love his work, man. His inks are super tight. Um, Actually, I have a little problem with inkers.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I put a lot of effort on my art. I spend maybe sometimes 8 to 10 hours on a page and
Right.
everything. And sometimes, if the inker is not good enough,
Right.
he will just kill your pencil work.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. You 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 got to be. I enjoy inking. I think that's where it comes from. I've got some Brazilian comics to show, just copies that I've made from my production artwork. But yeah, I enjoy inking too. Several things.
Very cool.
Here's I worked on this a little bit more. I've got to finish this. This is something I'm currently working on here uh, with the character,
Great.
and then there's a second
Awesome.
piece there. But so I'm kind of trying to stretch my legs with some of this. Here's a Brazilian cover that came out in 1965, an almanac. So these are in like Portuguese, probably a local. This is a photo, kind of a collage type. I thought it was interesting because he was already dead when this came out. But I know there's like a 2 year delay sometimes.
Mm,
So they're
Yeah,
probably telling a 1963 story in 1965 that featured
yeah.
Kennedy. And
Back, yeah,
here's
back in the
another one.
day, the guys did a lot of crazy things. Yeah, it's in Portuguese.
Well, now Ebal, Ebal, does that make any? Have you seen any from
Ye-
Ebal, or is this like an older
Yeah,
poster?
actually, it's very, very old. You know,
Okay. Yeah, I mean those
maybe.
are from like mid to early. This one's even earlier. That Batman and
Yeah,
Robin from like early '60s. Cover.
oh wow.
yeah.
Yeah.
I
Uh,
actually have some from the '50s, from the early to mid
yeah,
'50s. From
very
them.
old. I
Yeah.
never had any comic from Ebol. You know, it's a
Yeah, but you've
very,
seen
very
them,
old.
right? You've seen that? You've seen them?
No, I never
Very
saw
good.
any of
Okay.
them because it's very back in the day. Because maybe my grandparents would would have
Right.
no have a
Yeah.
comic from Ebol. You know,
Uh-huh.
but
Uh-huh.
it's part of the history of comics here in Brazil because they were the guys publishing Marvel and DC back in the '60s and the '50s. You know.
Oh, okay.
Apex. There will be no
So,
Apex After Dark tonight, as usual. We were
Sorry.
on.
I was just gonna ask you, how old are you, Fabio? 20s or so? Somewhere in your 20s?
So, can
He's
you
wanting to
repeat,
know
please?
how old you are.
Ah,
How
how
old?
old? Yeah, 35.
35. Oh man, you don't
35.
look nowhere near 35.
No, it's like wow. He was mentioning high school. It's like mid-20s, maybe.
35.
Yeah, dude.
Yeah,
I thought you were like
yeah,
25, 26, maybe.
No, 35 years, you know. Yeah.
Wow.
yeah,
There
I
you go.
so
Well, you're holding up well, man. That's good.
thanks,
yeah,
man. Thanks.
yeah, yeah. He's a little bit younger than my daughter. Of course, I got
Yeah,
started earlier, Fabio, and so did Shadowhawk.
yeah.
Got to
Um,
start these things early so you get. Um, I've got a whole host of characters too, Fabio. I hope someday you'll be able to work on some of them. Um, this is a piece I had done last year by Ryan James
Cool.
of some of my characters, and it's like the back cover to this front cover here. Uh, there we go. Sorry for the glare, but
Very awesome, man. Very
we can
cool.
cover,
Yeah.
and then
So
I had him do a individual here.
great, great.
Yeah, yeah,
Congrats, man. Very cool stuff. Yeah, for
yeah.
sure. Just reach out on any time. Basically, I am I am grateful for that because I am always busy.
Yeah. What are
My
you
schedule,
working on currently, Fabio? Is there a
yeah,
comic book you're working on currently?
yeah. Not currently, but it should
Okay.
be. Is Justice number 5 for Wingless Comics, and
Okay.
Brian said he would send me the script still this week. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, okay.
he can send me the script anytime today or tomorrow, and then straight on Monday I will start doing the layouts for Justice number 5 for Wingless Comics, and I have a sequence of scheduled booked works.
All right.
After Justice number 5, it will be a comic for Fate 68 Comics, and go. I take more or less 2 months to produce one full issue
Uh-huh.
of 20 or 24 pages, and I have the whole year booked for this year. Thanks the Lord.
Well, good.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Well, I'd like to keep you busy too. Have a I have the full story coming out here in less than a month of Devil Flyer, and that has backup stories done by various artists. But after this first issue, I won't have a main artist for my principal character, Devil Flyer, and so I'm looking for somebody new, and I think you would fit in good to do Devil Flyer.
Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah.
I would love to be the artist, but um, I'm really have a full schedule for now, and
Okay. Well,
I
now
still
that like I say, I have an issue and I have other stuff coming out in the meantime. So, number one is not going to launch for a while. So, you would have a long time to work on just here and there pages or
yeah,
things. So, consider it. I'll DM you.
sure,
He's
sure, yeah.
after
Uh,
after I launch this magazine, he's going to be fighting. This is kind of one version, but this giant kaiju, sort of demon. Um,
Very
but
awesome, man.
yeah, um, yeah,
Yeah,
we'll get
I still
together and
can.
see what your schedule's like.
Yeah, I normally on the days of the week I work
Mm-hmm.
on comic pages, and sometimes I can
Mm.
take commissions, as extra commissions by the
Right,
weekends,
right.
but I also need some time to rest. So
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
if
yeah.
Yeah. That's
if not, I will be working 24 hours, 7 days a week, and I cannot
Absolutely,
do that. So,
Hey, that's a
absolutely.
that's a good problem though, Fabio.
Yeah.
You know.
yeah,
Well,
a
hey.
lot of guys reach out to me on Instagram or any social media, and they ask for commissions or for uh, for comic pages or short stories, and I only can say sorry, but for now I am fully booked, and
So like,
it's a
so
commitment. You need to be committed. I am just working with very small indie publishers,
so
but let,
how would you
let
feel about a single page commission, just 11 by 17 black and white art?
no, this single commissions is totally
Rex
fine.
knows where I'm going with this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, my next question is: are you familiar with Cyberfrog?
And I heard a lot about Cyberfrog.
Okay,
Um,
well, yeah,
it, it,
his big brother is called Salamandroid. That's my favorite character in the world. Um,
very
I'd
awesome.
love
Yeah, it
I'd love to
actually
see you
was.
draw it.
Yeah, it was the new movement on the market started by Ethan Van Sciver.
Yeah, yep,
Yeah,
exactly.
I'm right. Yeah, I
Yes,
remember
sir.
that. I
Yeah.
remember because he was a proof that indies can be so successful as the big two.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
and I was a big
Yeah,
Absolutely.
fan
And
of
more
Ethan
so.
back in the '90s.
yeah, very
Yeah, I
awesome,
like
man.
this cover artwork I showed you from Ryan James. This I'm not going to use this wraparound cover till issue 6, and I've not even released issue 1 yet. So, and this magazine that I'm releasing now is like a prequel, a before story. So, yeah,
Very
I
awesome.
believe in getting art done early, especially on
Yeah,
covers.
yeah.
That way.
This
Mhm.
prequel idea is very fine because this is the prequel for Vexus.
There you
It's
go.
called
Yep.
Chameleon Studios Preview. It
Hmm.
has, I think it's 4 or 5 short stories condensed here from
Oh,
Hmm.
nice.
several artists,
Hmm.
and the Coda released this as a first Kickstarter, and it
Okay.
was successful. And then when we got to release Vexus One, um, we basically doubled the initial goal.
Did you do the
Right in the
cover to
first
the
issue.
Vexus? Did you do the cover to that as well
Yes,
on
uh,
Vexus? Yeah,
Yeah, I
both of
this
did.
those.
Nice.
Okay.
for Vexus, I did pencils and colors
Okay.
for
So
And the
this
you do
cover.
colors.
some
Oh,
coloring.
nice.
Wow.
I did colors too, because
Awesome.
Cool, man.
I know how to do colors,
Hmm.
but I'm focusing on pencils only because colors are awesome to do, but they're time consuming. And
Hmm.
Absolutely. Yeah.
I worked for um, more than 5 years straight on the front of PC,
Pretty good.
on a desktop. And when I got the chance to go out and work traditionally, here my drawing table. So I do basically all my work
Hmm.
traditionally.
Uh-huh.
So
Nice.
I say I will go for it. I will not choose to stay on the front of PC all the
Yeah.
day
Well,
because I will go crazy.
Shadowhawk knows, we both like traditional artwork. I work traditionally. Ryan James, he like puts does the pencils and then puts it on a light box and then inks it, you know. And this is
Fantastic.
with you've probably seen enough Marvel magazines where they take the Hulk that somebody drew and they take Spider-Man somebody else drew and they put it together in one scene. That's what I'm wanting to do with a wraparound character book. I'm having artists do like individual like pinups of a
Great.
character, either female or male, and then I'll do the villains.
Hey, Glenn.
One cover will be a wraparound for villains, and one will be a wraparound for heroes. And then I will put Ryan's lady here with somebody else's. I'll put every. I'll have different characters, different artists do different characters, and then I'll put that in one scene together where you have many
Great.
different artists. I like that collage look that Marvel did, a lot.
Yeah.
And
Th-
and
This
it's
is it's like
sometimes it's a lot easier to get someone to do like a pinup type one
Yes.
character than it is like a big group book or interior pages. It
Yeah,
takes less
definitely.
time, you know. Of
And
course, you
yeah,
wind
I
up paying more artists, and it costs you more to do a
yeah.
cover that way. But that's it's for a character book to feature all my characters in, kind of like a who's
Yeah.
who, or you know, like they
Yeah,
used to
Yeah.
do
Marvel
at Marvel and
Universe.
DC.
Yeah.
It's
And
a great way to do, and for sure, I know
mhm,
how is to uh, actually this is a thing that happens with Chameleon Studios, because for example, this cover has only 5 characters, but some
okay,
covers got to have 17 characters.
whoa, wow,
so, so basically I only draw they very small or only their faces, so
hmm
man,
yeah,
some things don't work fine for a cover. So,
right,
but
absolutely, yeah,
but this idea of doing each artist doing only a pinup, and then you put them together on a
put it
larger
together,
piece.
right, yeah,
Yeah, a double page spread. This
yeah.
works fine. So it's a great idea you got.
Well, I know I always liked seeing that type of thing out of especially Marvel comics because they did so much of it, and they would
Yeah,
just take
Yeah, that was.
artwork from stories
yeah,
and panels sometimes, and really put it to good use. They would continually do these collage like and reuse artwork. I think that's very smart.
yeah,
Sometimes
Yeah,
you take an
17
image and
characters
then
on the
flop
cover,
it.
dude. What are you, George Perez over here?
Yeah,
yeah.
right.
George Perez.
That's what I was thinking. Yeah, because he
I
did like
remember.
all the characters.
Dude, he,
Yeah,
he put everybody on the cover.
yeah. He puts everyone. George Perez is the king of double page spreads with lots
Oh,
of
yeah.
characters.
Yeah.
Like
Very awesome.
that's the way this image came about. Fabio was I had Tank Ferret. He's added some
Yeah, I
more
like this
lightning to
one.
this since he sent me this picture. But I'm decided to put that on the magazine's back cover, and really this was just like I needed uh, for that collage cover I was talking about. I needed devil flyers, so uh,
Cool.
I turned this into something.
So
You know,
he is an angel, or
yeah,
he,
yeah,
he
he's an
he's an
angel-like character.
an
Yeah,
angel. Yeah. So
and then
basically, the series I did for English comics called Justice.
Hell,
He,
dude.
he's an
mhm,
angel too, cause so I drew a lot of wings.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah,
uh, and then I had him do this for that collage cover I was talking about. Another character.
very
And
awesome,
it's a
man.
wraparound cover, and it may be magazine size too, so there's a lot more room to put different characters on. And
Very
and
cool.
the only thing I asked for is have the character running towards you, so I could put it like they're all rushing you. The
Yeah,
villains and the heroes are rushing the, and then that way I could kind of composite it, and
yeah.
then
It's a classic.
yeah,
It's a
like if their
Yeah.
classic.
legs are part of their costumes covered up because there's overlapping on the cover, then I'll just take that
Yeah,
same image and put it on the inside where on the
yeah.
character sheet where people can see it.
Yeah. Here's a
There you
sample
go.
of one of these
Oh wow.
two page spreads.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I
Nice,
did not
man.
them running or anything. They are basically standing on their own universe,
Right.
but it's a double page spread showing the heroes and the villains for Vexus
Oh yeah.
and
I mean just like a double
this
page
kind of thing.
ad here in the book.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
that's
an
good
ad.
advertisement. Yeah.
Yeah, and the back
Yeah.
of the book
Oh
here,
wow.
one of that beautiful ladies just
Mm-hmm.
saying, "Come back on the next issue." So
Mm-hmm.
just to sell more, man. It sells a little
Exactly.
bit more.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Hey, if it sells an extra, 50 copies, hey, it's all good.
Yeah, extra 50. And we
That's very
transformed that.
smart.
Yeah, we transformed this on a variant cover for issue one. So
Uh-huh.
you can go reusing artwork and do your own advertising, and it's part of the
Yeah,
game.
yeah,
I
yeah.
have had a
That's great.
little ash can that
That's smart
had the
too.
first part of the story in it, and it's
Oh,
small in size, smaller than a regular comic, but
yeah,
like inside it on this proof here, I put the rough pencils to one of the covers, so that was depicting all the villains here and then all the heroes on this side, sort of,
nice.
rushing each other. So, double page spread is a good way to, really
Yeah,
show a lot.
yeah, really awesome.
Yeah. Yeah, I like interesting looking characters. I always did. I always liked the team books. The George Perez really got me into reading comics. It's just his artwork was even and this was his early stuff. Where it was not so polished. And in some ways, I guess maybe it's just memories as seeing that stuff as a kid. I actually kind of prefer the unpolished early Perez stuff. You know
Great. Yeah,
Yeah,
sure. Uh,
it's a little bit more simplistic than his later stuff, but and not less defined, but I kind of like that.
yeah. So these classic guys from the 80s or before that, they had uh, a way of depicting the heroes. For example, John Buscema. You know, um, the old Conan books. They do anatomy with a sense of motion and in the sense of when they draw a guy punching the face of the other guy
Right?
back in the 80s.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
You can feel the punch on your face. you know
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I know what you're saying. Yeah.
and nowadays we miss a little bit of that because sometimes the
Did
new
you?
artists they do some fights, but you don't feel that energy.
Yeah, yeah.
I miss that so much.
That
Did
was
you get to
something like
read any
Jack
of
Kirby
the?
did really well.
Yeah.
Sorry. Um,
Go ahead, Shadow.
did you guys in Brazil get to read any of the Frank Miller and Klaus Janson Daredevil run? I mean, you talk about there was some brutal stuff in that run, dude. I mean, like the fight scenes
Yeah.
were amazing.
I'm sure it was published here in Brazil, all Frank Miller stuff,
Mm.
and it- but I did not got the chance to follow and get the issues. So
Right.
Oh, dude,
it
if you get a chance to pick up that
yeah,
run, like a trade paperback or something, it, I'd recommend it.
cool.
It's good,
I
good
will
stuff.
definitely check this out because yeah, Frank Miller is a great storyteller. Art wise, I'm not too much of a fan of Frank Miller, but on storytelling for sure, he
Yeah.
he's
Well, that
great.
was the nice thing about him and Klaus Jansen's run on Daredevil was I don't know who was inking. Was that Klaus inking Frank on that? Who was? I'm
Mm,
not sure,
I don't
but
know.
it wasn't your typical Frank Miller art. I mean, it was, yeah, pretty good
Uh,
stuff.
I'm gonna check this out.
Yeah.
Very awesome.
Yeah, you got to let's see. We'll share something here. Just yeah, I like a lot of characters, I tried to feature a lot of characters on my cover, at least with John Diller, because I know he can put in a lot of characters, no problem. So I think altogether there's like 14 characters on this cover. The only
Very
one that
awesome.
didn't quite get in was Bog, way back there, sort of my swamp guy. But got even him on
Yeah,
his
that's wicked
motorcycle
too.
over here. But we had a lot of fun coming up with this, and
Yeah, and
I
that's
the
about it.
way I get around, because it's not like a lot of artists like to draw a lot of characters together, because it's a lot of work. But what I
Yeah,
need is some sexy women, definitely, because I don't. I, as an artist, kind of concentrated on other things besides women. I'm opposite, I strong men, monsters, aliens, anything,
yeah,
but weird stuff. But the women, not so much. I think it was because I never really, I now in more recent years I've concentrated on creating more women characters. But um in fact, one of my last big characters was a Western woman character uh, that I created. But
yeah,
um, yeah, I know that sex appeal sells, Fabio. So
yeah,
I need to put more women, or at least some women,
yeah.
in there.
It sells, man. It sells.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Especially if it's
it,
done well. Who
yeah,
who do you like as an artist, Fabio? Who are some of your favorites?
yeah. Actually, today, if I prefer to draw male characters, monsters and
Hmm.
battles and this kind of thing, because
Yeah, I do
I,
too.
I drew a lot of one women characters. I drew a lot of them. I sold
Right,
a lot of original art on eBay, so it's cool to do. But if you do it every single time,
right.
you got tired of doing that every single time, So,
Hey, good stuff.
uh, but it's the thing I do most today. For example, all of that covers
Hmm.
with sexy woman on the cover. The publishers, they want it, especially the indies, because it sells more. But if I could choose, I prefer to draw like male characters and battles and fantasy and this
Hmm.
kind of thing. Uh, of course, I love it all, but as I did too much women,
Yeah,
now today I prefer to do normal superheroes
yeah.
and warriors and this kind of thing.
Hmm. You pretty much like the superhero genre, uh, not like horror, western,
Yeah,
different fantasy or
yeah.
sci-fi.
I am not a huge fan of superhero. I have some issues of the classic Marvel and DC stuff, or X-Men and Justice League, and this was my foundation. But my
Hmm.
biggest influence, it was Image Comics from the
Oh, okay.
90s, and
Yeah,
Witchblade, The Darkness, and
yeah.
Magdalena, and some team books like Wildcats, but not too much.
Hmm.
So I think I my personal taste for comics nowadays, it goes more for uh, supernatural
Thank you.
stories,
Good stuff.
Yeah,
like
you like
like yeah,
monsters and
monsters and demons
yeah.
and dark
All right.
fantasy, or um, modern sci-fi, like, for example,
Okay.
if you take the darkness, it's a kind of or Witchblade as well, is
Hmm.
a
Hmm.
police story in a modern day, and but of course, if it's a good story, I will like to draw, because
Yeah.
I
That's
also got to draw some scripts back in the day when I started.
Yeah.
I think it was in 2020, straight in the pandemic.
Yeah.
That script was terrible, so I hated and my art. Man, I got some white hair drawing that
yeah.
script. I got white hair,
Uh,
Fabio, I know what you mean. I was the same way. My hair looked just like yours till I cut it, and you know,
yeah. So that script
I
was
feel
so
your pain.
terrible. Yeah, it was so terrible for me to understand that script and that story. And I drew the panels, and it was a lot of corrections. Actually, I could not understand that script, and I say, man, I cannot continue doing that. So I think I did three issues, three issues, and I gave up. And I
Yeah,
talked with the
wow.
writer. For no way, I cannot continue. So,
yeah. Do you know this? I guess this is a musical
Hell,
group.
good
Good
stuff.
Stuff knows a lot of good music. He knew
yeah,
your Iced Earth. Yeah.
Sepultura. The
Uh,
guys.
Yeah.
Sepultura is the trademark of Brazilian thrash metal.
okay.
So,
Yeah.
yeah, no, everyone in the world, if you say Brazil, they would say Pelé or Sepultura.
Okay. Did Apex wanted to know if Pitt was one of those image comics, Del Keown's Pitt.
Pit. Yeah,
Uh huh.
I love the covers. I did not got the chance to buy the issues. I
Right.
read some issues, very cool. But Dale Keown is the legend, man. He is awesome.
Mhm.
I really enjoy
Yeah,
his
that was
art.
the
Like
beast,
Black
man.
Angus.
Thanks, Black Angus. Thanks a lot, man.
Yeah, I caught some of Black Angus's. He was on with a couple people night before last, I believe.
Oh,
It's
L Black
good to
Angus.
see you in here, Black Angus. Um, Need to make sure you have a wrench.
Very
Come
awesome,
back and
man.
visit us when you can, for sure. So, are you reading anything now? Or are you just too busy, Fabio?
Uh, well, truth be told, I'm just
Mm-hmm.
too busy.
Just too busy. Okay.
I believe it.
Man, I really I have my comics here, and whenever I get the chance, I buy new ones. And basically, I try to search for things that I would like to have when it got published,
Mm-hmm.
maybe a decade or two ago, and I did not got the chance. For example, I found here is the Brazilian version of
Oh,
Savage
Savage
Wolverine.
Wolverine.
Yeah,
Okay.
but Joe
Yeah.
Madureira, and this is from maybe 10 years ago, and
Electra. Yeah.
yeah, and I
Uh
just
huh.
got this some months ago. So
Ah.
I'm in this kind of vibe, trying to find the
Right.
comics I would like to have,
Uh huh.
and I didn't got the chance. So I'm doing this now.
There you go.
Comic. Black Angus says comic man too busy for comics. Calls you a poser.
Poser.
Okay, eh?
Yeah, but
No, we're not looking at a specific campaign, Black Angus. We're just getting to know Fabio and his work
Damn, Black
and
Angus.
what he's worked on in the past. Um, anyway, um, yeah,
yeah,
it's awesome.
and
Do you prefer just the pinups, the covers, interior artwork? What do you like to do? What is your jam besides like you yeah, the male characters or hero or monsters like
yeah,
you or kaiju?
yeah, I always prefer doing sequentials, interior pages, because for an artist, especially a freelance artist, um, when you got a sequence of 20 pages to do, you will have work for the month. You know,
Mm-hmm.
I love doing covers because I got the chance to work for several studios, and you do a cover here today. It will be published soon and everything. I am always grateful for doing covers. I love in doing it,
Yeah.
but my best choice is if I get the chance to work on sequentials. and doing issues for interior art for comics. This is my goal, you know.
Right.
I always prefer that, and it for sure it's time consuming because
Right.
sometimes you can do a beautiful cover in maybe 4 hours, for example. If you got an interior page to do and it has a lot of panels and everything, you will spend the full day working on it, maybe 2 days, you know. But when you start doing pages, when you start telling a story, I think the magic, only if you do a page you feel the magic, you know. And never more you want to abandon that, you know,
Yeah.
because it's some kind of special thing doing a page and doing a storytelling, a sequence of a story.
Hmm.
It's amazing.
Thank you,
So
Anna, for liking this. Now, you
yeah.
have you got an example? You were talking about a fight scene, really feeling the power in a punch. Do you have anything you can show me there in one of those comics where you kind of throw a good punch to a
mm,
character?
a good punch,
A
you know.
good
Yeah,
punch.
for example, yeah, for
Yeah,
example,
I think we
Joe
all
Mad
like a
do
good
do
punch.
I'm gonna find it here, you know.
Hey, Levi.
um let's see if I get to find something.
Excuse me, guys. Sore throat going on over here.
Uh-oh. How's your day been,
um
Shadowhawk? Pretty good? Cruising around a
Uh,
lot?
yeah, I did. I just been went to the store, got spent a ridiculous amount of money on just ingredients for soup, and then came home and started prepping my soup,
uh,
and now it's slowly cooking.
Okay.
I'm not
Oh,
sure
oh man, that's a beat
if
down there. Yeah.
Oh yeah, look at
yeah, here is an example of a good punch, you know.
that.
Yeah.
Nice.
You can see the energy and the impact on
Mm.
Wolverine being smashed by this big monster, you
Mm-hmm.
know. I try to capture that motion. I will not have any of my original art to show here because they
Right.
are all stored up on the plastic bags and everything. So,
Right.
but to everyone watching the live stream, if you search for Wingless Comics Justice, uh, I did very cool fight scenes on the.
Is Justice a team book, or what's Justice all about?
Yeah, Justice is a single character book. Basically, he's an angel, a black angel,
Oh,
Okay.
and
bourbon as usual, good stuff.
yeah, he's an angel, and he came from heaven to earth
Mm-hmm.
because the balance
Hey,
between
man.
heaven and hell is being affected by some things that would should not be happening. So he comes from heaven, and when he comes to earth, he finds that planet earth is totally different from what he believed before. So he got to know the human side and the human vision of this world, and he go
Hell,
fight
Matt. Hell, hell, hell,
to
hell.
to reestablish the balance between heaven and hell. It's a very cool book.
Yeah.
It's very influenced by Spawn, of course, and a lot of mythology influences. Yeah, so you guys out there, check Justice from Wingless Comics. You will not regret. That's it.
Nice.
Uh, Now, now that Wolverine that you worked on, now that's kind of like the Brazilian. I guess that won't be like in America, right? It would just be like for the Brazilian uh,
Uh,
comic
y-
collector, maybe
you
in
know,
Portuguese.
this This issue, you mean this comic?
Yeah, that issue. Yeah.
Yeah. So what the guys do here in Brazil, they, for example, they took a lot of issues from
Okay.
different issues and they put together in this trade
Okay.
paperback. So
Okay.
I almost sure this is totally different from the Savage Wolverine published in America.
Right.
As
Okay.
No.
the anthology, you know.
Right.
So they do that, for example, with let me show something older. For example, this comic here.
Oh, yeah, I have some of that in my collection, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Panini Comics
Yeah.
is the company who published Marvel and DC and Image here in Brazil, and they
Right.
Yeah, yeah,
sometimes
okay.
they do a collection
Right.
collecting many issues
Mm-hmm.
in an issue. So sometimes it's the same cover for the American issue, but the interior is kind of different.
Yeah, yeah, it's a little different, and yeah, I imagine you do a lot of compilation books and stuff. But now, that Wolverine piece where you were showing the fist, that you didn't draw that, right? You were just
No,
showing me an
no,
example. You didn't
yeah,
draw that. Okay, all right.
just show an
Yeah.
example.
Okay. Yeah. 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 That's a good put down. Like, I mean, uh, he's drilling him down in the ground there. Of course, there's a big size difference
Yeah,
there. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah.
That's
Joe Madureira has that energy I always seek to
mm-hmm.
integrate in my own work. I am very inspired by Joe Madureira, Michael Turner, Greg Capullo,
Yeah.
There
uh,
you go.
Jim Lee, and Mark Silvestri.
Yeah.
They're my
All kind
biggest.
of really detailed artists, right?
Yeah,
In the 90s type vein. Yeah. Mark Silvestri, I guess,
yes.
Oh,
He
as
Mark
I
well.
love Sylvester, man. He's
Yeah.
ink
Mark
slinger.
Silvestri. Mark
Yeah,
Silvestri is on my top three. You know, so he's the legend, man. He's awesome.
yeah. Sylvester's a badass.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I I'm a big fan here. You know, I have it here.
Look at that. Yeah.
I
Bam.
love it, man. It's a
Yeah.
very awesome book. You
Yeah.
know,
Can we
we've
see the
got the
back of
chance
it? Can we see the back of it? See what he's got on the back
in the
cover?
back.
Yeah. Ooh, look at that.
Yeah,
Very.
Mark Silvestri is the legend,
Yeah.
and he always will be. Very awesome.
I agree, Fabio. Out of the image guys, I think he was my favorite one.
Yeah. And he's
For
still
sure,
going
man.
strong. He's still putting stuff out. So
Oh
yeah.
yeah, no, I'm just saying it.
Yeah. It's
Yeah,
wild
man.
to look at the different image guys and see how they wound up and what they're doing. Uh,
Hmm.
if they're doing anything now, I think Valito didn't he retire pretty much?
Yeah, but
Oh,
many of
Jim
Valentino. Yeah,
Valentino, yeah,
he's officially retired.
yeah, yeah.
Semi. I
Well, you
I don't
you
know. You know how that goes.
Shadowhawk liked him because he's named after him, Shadowhawk. Out of
yeah,
Image
Shadow
Comics.
Hawk.
Yeah,
I remember that.
yeah, yeah.
Oh god.
Valentino, yeah, yeah. I get his name wrong, but
Ain't
anyway,
committing no more crimes when you can't walk.
yeah. And then Jim Lee, and everything, kind of took his company and kind of merged with, sold it to DC and kind of became DC, and
Yeah.
Eric Larson's kind of been doing his own Savage Dragon all these years, and then Todd McFarlane expanding into Spawn universe recently. Is that a character?
Oh,
Yeah.
Do you like drawing other characters that are established characters like Spawn? Or see, I never did. I like to draw my own characters.
Yeah,
I'm going to put that much.
I really love to draw established characters. Like I know, for example, I did that Lady Death
Uh-oh.
on I post these days.
Right.
I love to draw character like that, Lady Death, Spawn. I love, but the thing is, I'm really always busy, so uh,
Right.
I for sure I never draw the amount of established characters I would like because I am always working on some stuff for clients and studios, and I end up more working and posting only works like this. For example, that Red Blade is a character you never know about because it's a Brazilian character just starting the works,
Mm.
uh, and a lot of indies. Most of my stuff you see on my Instagram or Facebook or Twitter is basically what I am
Hey,
working
Lorenzo.
at the moment, and normally is not too much known characters. For example, uh, if I post a drawing of Wolverine or Spider-Man,
Mm-hmm.
I know I would get a lot of likes and it would works like a marketing for me.
Oh yeah.
But
Yeah.
but I truly believe that if I need to post something, I want to support the indies I am working. My true wish is that someday people look to an indie comic and realize that this is so much good as Marvel or DC, or even better. So I
Yeah.
always try to post the indies, the covers I am doing, the interior pages I am doing, instead of just doing fan art. Sometimes I do, but I always prefer to share my indie works I am doing at the moment.
Yeah. I'm thinking that all the energy, all the momentum is on the indie side right now. Not so much with Marvel and DC anymore. Or
Yeah,
even Image. I think the more innovative stuff is actually being done in the little independent groups sometimes. But
yeah,
now that doesn't,
absolutely.
like you said, Fabio, that doesn't always mean every script is good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you
Sometimes.
do you prefer to work from a script, or do you like to do, I mean, how do
Hell,
you
blue
work?
shirt.
I like to, like, script it out, but not necessarily with words. What I like to do is do like storyboards, the action, and then I will add the words later after the art is done. But I know,
Sure. Yeah.
yeah,
This this method of doing script is the Marvel way. You know,
okay, all right, yeah,
I just got the just only one chance to work on this method. It was for a short story for Reaper Destroyer from
oh,
Joe M.
Joe
Sontag.
Sontag,
Yeah,
yeah,
it was amazing, and it was in this kind of condensed script. The script shows what need to happen on the page,
yeah,
but it doesn't have speech balloons. It doesn't have too much detail. So
right. Just
the,
kind of a general outline, so as
yeah,
the artist what's going on.
so the
Yeah,
the artists have a lot more freedom
free
to
reign.
work on his art, on his storytelling, and
Yeah,
I love that. But it was only my only chance to work on this way because
yeah,
the most of scripts I get to work are all uh, full detailed, full
yeah,
description of each panel, and if text, dialogue, and everything. So if I could choose, I will choose the Marvel way because we have a lot more freedom. And truth be told, that short story I did for Joe Sontag, it was one of my best so far. You know, one
Yeah.
of my best works so
That
far.
that's how the reason I ask is, I like to ask artists which way do you best like to work, because I kind of do it like Joe Sontag does, give you kind of just the general action, and then I give the artist freedom to, I need this in there, but you can do it like you want,
Yeah,
and kind of give them
absolutely.
a little direction, but not leave most of it up to the artist. Definitely, as long as
Yeah,
we get from point A to point B through the story, and you kind of know what's going on. I think that's enough. I think artists work better when they have a little freedom.
for sure, sure.
Yeah, yeah.
We need that freedom.
Hey, Taskmaster Dan. Uh, we'll take a moment here and just say hi to some folks. We've got good stuff in the house. We've got Pastmaster Dan. We've got Apex. We've got Lorenzo in the house. And we have given you your lizard representation today. I think I was
Yeah,
in Blue
I think
Sasquatch. Levi's in the
uh,
house. Matt's in the house from Metal Movies and Brewskis. He had a very good and thank you again, Matt, for the wrench the other day. He had a very good interview the other day on his channel. Um, that was a very interesting interview. Apex in the house. Um, and Carrie's in the house. Black Angus, of course, listening as he works, as he edits their hater video. Okay. Hopefully, he won't hate on this. He'll leave a like and a subscribe, hopefully. If you're not subscribed to the channel, please subscribe. Um, Timothy Osen in the house. He's working on a script right now. Melvin Ford. Glenn in Monsterland saying hi. Everybody's excited to see a new, fresh face, Fabio, and I guess you're it.
very awesome. Yeah,
Yeah, they're
I think
tired of
best
me. They're tired of
be-
my old face.
yeah, I think best Master Dan was commenting about when Shadowhawk was as in it was possible to hear some kind of echo or some delay
Right.
or something.
Yeah.
And
Well, it
now,
was an echo on Shadowhawk. I just dropped him the link so he could come back in and eliminate the echo. After a
yeah,
while, his phone that he's on starts to echo and pick up, so he has to bounce out and come back in sometimes.
yeah,
Um,
that's great.
Yeah, I mean, I can't imagine you trying to do something like this, but I'm sure you're capable of it. But like the old calendar here with that's Art Adams with all the Marvel characters. Of course, they've got
Yeah,
so many characters
Art
each week in.
Adams. Yeah, Art
Um,
Adams is fantastic, man.
oh,
He's
he is good, isn't he?
one of
And
the legends.
do you know Michael Golden? Michael
Mm,
Golden
no,
as an
from
artist.
memory.
He's kind of like Art Adams. He's I always thought that he kind of had a more cartoonish look, kind of like Art Adams does.
Cool. I will need
He
to check him
used to
out.
draw the
Yeah.
Micronauts back in the 80s. I don't know if you know
Sorry
the
about that,
Micronauts.
Fabio.
Oh, oh,
Yeah,
I don't remember the Macronites,
yeah, yeah.
but
Oh wow.
I'll definitely check it out.
Fabio, have
Sh-
you seen the new Godzilla movie, Godzilla minus one?
Not yet.
Not
I
yet.
just
Okay.
just
We
saw
haven't
some
either.
some.
We do want to see it though. They say it's
Uh,
pretty good. You know.
Oh, yeah, I'm dying
oh,
to see it, but I don't know if I'm gonna get to in the theaters or not.
Yeah. We want to see Tokyo destroyed
Yeah.
again. You can never destroy Tokyo enough.
never.
Excuse me. Oh man. Well, thanks, Fabio, for coming on. Usually we go a couple hours, but man, I had a late night, got up early. Uh, Shay last night, Red Valkyrie, where I'm launching in about a month on her channel. She went like over 4 hours, Shadowhawk, about four and
Did
a
you
half
guys go
hours.
that long last
And
time?
I
Yeah, I
came
know.
in late. I'm kind of glad I came in late.
Yeah, I cut out
I
after
was
a while, dude.
tired.
I was like, yeah, I'm out. Oh
And I
shoot.
knew I had to get up early and be fresh and ready for Andy Smith today.
Oh, before we go, too, Rex, hold up.
Sure.
I didn't get a chance to show you this.
Okay.
I got a package from Elsie today.
Oh, already? Wow.
Yeah,
Pretty quick at that. Yeah.
dude.
Elsie's a real good friend of mine, Fabio. I hope you can meet him next time when you come on.
Oh,
This is just
Because we'd
oh,
like to
one of
have
the,
you back sometime.
this is one of the coolest things. I didn't even know they did comic strips this way.
Oh, yeah. That's like a daily comic strip, I think, from the 1950s.
Yeah, that's an
He was showing
original.
that on the show the other day.
Yeah,
Yeah.
little brother Hugo.
Yeah.
That is
Isn't that
just
cool?
the coolest shit, dude. And
Well, he
then
knows you like original artwork.
on top of that, look at this, just in time for the 30th anniversary,
There you
an
go.
original
Billy Tucci
1998
She.
She Art Award Tour sketchbook.
There you go.
I am gonna send this thing to Billy, man, and have him do She on the cover for me. Oh
What
my
would you bid
god.
the dog? I put a question to Fabio. Okay, Rex, are you
Elsie,
good?
you rock,
Read my
dude.
question. All right, let's see here.
Wherever you are tonight.
Okay, there's your question. I didn't know what that was. In fact, I never saw that.
yeah. It is in Portuguese, and she's asking what made me wish to create comics.
Okay, there you go.
So,
Carrie speaks Portuguese? Holy mackerel.
I know, right? She's
so
She's,
well,
she's using some kind of translator program.
yeah. So, what made me wish to create comics? I think it came from my childhood. I was always watching cartoons and living in the world of imagination,
Mm-hmm.
And when I realized that comics and drawing, it was a way to tell a story and show your imagination universe to everyone. I was amazed by that possibility, and I always loved drawing.
Mm-hmm.
Then when I was kid, I knew I must find a way to work in comics. So it took me 30 years to get
Yeah.
to that point. I only started working full time in comics at the end of 2019. So it was a long road, but I can say the wish to do comics, it was always present in my life since I was a kid. And basically it was the possibility to tell stories and show to people the universe you have on your mind
Mm-hmm.
that captivated me still today and forever.
Yeah, that was a good answer because I mean, that's the Marvel and DC universes and the image stuff later. Here's a nice image. Look at that, man. This is from 1995. Jim Lee.
Yeah, Jen Lee is the legend.
Yeah, the legend, right? Yeah.
A very big
Yeah.
influence in my art as well. Jim Lee, I always follow his work, and I have a lot of his art, and just love his run on X-Men.
I'm
Oh
gonna have
yeah.
to do
Yeah,
a calendar at some point. That would be fun to do a calendar.
Yeah.
sure. The guys on Atrocity Press, they are already doing their calendar, you know,
Oh, are
and
they?
Yeah.
Nice.
yeah, people love it.
There you
Very
go.
cool, man.
Forced Works, another Avenger book from back then.
Yeah,
A lot of people
very
don't
awesome.
remember that, but starting out with some Fantastic Four, Earth from number 3,
Yeah,
Jack
I wish
Kirby.
something like this here in Brazil, but we never had things like this.
Yeah, yeah.
It's awesome, man. You
I
guys
can't
on
even remember
yeah,
Joe Costada. You might know Joe Costada's artwork from back in
Joe
the
Yeah.
day.
Quesada, yeah.
Yeah.
You guys on America have some precious treasures that we don't have here in Brazil.
Well, it's the
We
same
don't
there.
have
I
it.
mean, you showed a couple of Brazilian comics that we don't have here. You know,
Yeah.
they may
But
be just reprint issues, but I like that stuff. I like to buy foreign comics. I've got some
yeah,
more artwork and production artwork out of Brazil than anything. But in fact, I would like to get on the Brazilian eBay because they have like different eBays around the world, right? And
yeah.
find some of these issues that I've actually have artwork, too.
Mm,
But
yeah.
I've never gotten
It's
on there to find some of these, and I know they're older books, so they're going to be a little expensive. But I would like to, since I
yeah,
own some of the production artwork or have owned, I'd like to own the books, even though I can't read Portuguese.
yeah,
Can
You know,
yeah.
can we get
It's
back to the topic at hand, Rex, which is me squeezing a salamandroid out of Fabio?
well, we would have to end the
Wow,
stream to do that,
sorry.
and I guess we will, so that you can talk shop to Fabio.
No, I'm just